Luckily, I had brought all my documents. But one thing he told me that made a huge difference to my South Korean visa process was the fact that he said, do I have a car? I said yes. He said I should bring my car papers. In my last video where I talked about my Japan visa stress that I don't want anybody to experience in this life, somebody commented that I should talk about the South Korean visa process, because in my vlogs and in the videos I showed you guys I went to South Korea and then went to Japan in the same period.
Last year, I spent 10 million naira traveling to South Korea and Japan. And one of the questions I always get is, how is it that I'm able to afford to take a 30 days leave and travel to these places, spend this amount of money? But the truth is, I don't just get lucky. I built a financial system that pays for this lifestyle. Between my 5 streams of income and smart money moves, I've stopped trading all my time for a paycheck. Now, I use that wealth to buy back my time. Whether that's traveling the world or just enjoying a slow morning coffee, I'm just sharing exactly how I do it. From the finance tips to the travel hacks, hit the follow button and let's build your dream life together. Bye.
So I had gone from Lagos to South Korea to Japan, and Japan to Lagos. So the Japan visa experience was nothing to talk home about, but thank God the South Korean one was as swift as anything. So I am very happy to share that one, because I just finished filming a video where I talked about my experience in the Japan immigration, and to forget that one, it is only right that I make this video about the South Korean visa process, which is quite swift if you have all the right documents. So to get a South Korean visa in Nigeria, you have to go to their new location, which is at, I'll look for that address and put it, because trust me, at first I got lost and went to their old location only to find out that they had moved to a better location, which is now their own building, very big, very fine. But that does not concern us. All we care about is the visa, right? So on getting to that location, you look for where to park, obviously, because there's nowhere to park. Or let's say you are not driving, good and fine. You get to the gate, you meet the security personnel and tell them that you are here to apply for a visa, and you are told to fill like the gate form and all that, all the usual stuff in Nigerian security offices. So after that, you now go inside with all your documents, and that is if you already have your documents in place. Because for me, I like to do my own research online, so I check their website and everything for all the documents, so I carried it there. On getting there, you will not get the form, of which you can still print this form online, but I don't know why I just prefer to go to the form in the office direct. That is the one I prefer to use, because obviously there would have been changes, or maybe not, but I just prefer the one in their office. Right now, getting there, luckily the man I met there was the friendliest of anything. So he just told me, and he was attending to people, so he just told me to wait. After waiting for some time, he now called me. Okay, I went there and he gave me the form to fill. Luckily, I had brought all my documents. But one thing he told me that made a huge difference to my process was the fact that he said, do I have a car? I said yes. He said I should bring my car papers, that it is going to boost up my chances of getting the visa. Because even with your payslip, all the documents you bring, like your bank statement and all that document that is outlined on their website, you need documents that are going to prove to them that, okay, you have things that are going to bring you back. You have the financial capability to take care of yourself when you travel to their country. And mind you, I've been to South Korea previously in 2019, so that process too was not the swiftest, if I'm being honest, but it was still like better than most other countries that I have gone through their visa process. And interestingly, getting that South Korean visa the first time, that 2019, made my getting the Thailand visa the next year very easy, because all the guy needed to ask me was, oh, you've been to South Korea? Yes, I've been to South Korea. Don't bother coming for interview. Come the next day to come and get your visa. Yeah, so South Korea is that, influential in that terms, I guess. And maybe because of my workplace, that's aside. But now, coming to this 2025, when I had applied for this visa, you now get the form, fill it, submit your documents, and luckily I had my car documents in the car. So I just made copies and then, gave it to him. And then, on giving it to him, he told me that I was going to come so date to come and check if the visa was ready and all that. And mind you guys, my main aim of traveling that year was to travel to Japan. But because the flight to Japan direct was so expensive and the flight to South Korea was way cheaper, just imagine $3,200 from Nigeria to Japan and back, $1,600. So basically divided by 2. So I decided to go through South Korea, and being that I love South Korea and I wanted to kill two birds with one stone, so I decided to go through South Korea. Right now, getting to the day when I was supposed to get the visa, or the time frame he had told me to come. When I came, he told me that the visa was not ready because apparently there were so many people that were applying to South Korea. I did not know that so many Nigerians apply for South Korean visa like that. I know Nigerians love K-drama and all that, but I never knew that there were so many people traveling. So you have to put enough time for when you're applying for this visa, because after 3 weeks my visa was still not ready because they had a lot of backlog, and apparently it was even written on their website, but I did not notice that. So I had to go back, and then I was just hoping that it would get back to me on time, because I had a VSF appointment for the Japan embassy. So I needed the South Korea one to be quick. Do you know that I had this Japan embassy meeting on the 15th? I got my South Korean visa on the 8th, so I was so ecstatic. But all I needed to do was have the right documents, your payslip, put any document that that is going to boost your ability to get the visa, so that they will know that okay, you have the financial capabilities and you're willing to come back, you have a good travel history and all that. All that is going to make it easier for you to get the visa. At least that was what I did, and I got my visa. But Japan almost spoiled my shine, because I thought I was not going to be able to enter South Korea, since my visa was only having 7 days left in it before I got my Japan visa. The flights, because of the South Korean visa expiring, I could no longer go to South Korea, stay the full time I wanted to stay. In between, I had planned that okay, when I go to South Korea, go there, come back from South Korea, but then in between, go to the Japan that I wanted to go to and come back to South Korea and come back. But because of the visa issues, that did not happen. So I had to start paying extra money to now book my flights in such a way that I go to South Korea, from South Korea go to Japan, from Japan come back to Lagos. That now meant that I had to pay extra 2 million naira for flights, reschedule and all that. And it even meant that I almost missed my chance to enter South Korea. I thought they were not going to allow me in, but I just took a leap of faith, and luckily they allowed me in, because the lady at the immigration asked, how many days are you planning to stay? Because she obviously saw my visa was going to expire on the 5th of November. I was coming to their country on the 22nd of October. So like I had just like maybe 10 days left in the visa. I thought they were not going to allow me, because somebody at the Qatar office that I met, I was asking like, would they allow me? Said that you needed to have at least 2 weeks in your visa for them to allow you to enter the country. But luckily that was not the case, because the lady just asked me, how many days are you planning to stay? And I told her that I'm going to be leaving on the 29th. So even when I leave on the 29th, I still had like 7 days in my visa before it would expire at least. So she was like, okay, you can go. I was like, hallelujah. Like, it was such a relief. But the South Korean visa one is as swift as anything, and South Korea was a vibe as always. The first time I went to South Korea, I only stayed in Seoul, so I did not really explore, but even in that Seoul that I stayed, I experienced a whole lot of things. I met people from Israel, people from Oman, like different countries. That time South Korea was a vibe, but this last one I went, it was just there, but you need to have the friends. But the only thing was that I met a girl on TikTok that made my experience much better, and the fact that I was able to visit Busan this time around. So I had quite a mix of experience, and South Korea is the country that I would always love to go to whenever I am given the chance. Like, I love that country, even when they can have their own craziness sometimes. It is like a country that has the right vibe that I like. So this is my experience with the South Korean visa. I hope it helps you in your processes. If I'm to say anything to round off this video, is the fact that just have all your documents, have supporting documents that are going to boost your chance. Make sure you have enough money in your account. I believe they said from 8 million or so, thereabouts. Yeah, I believe so. So just have enough money in your account to show proof of funds and all. And then have all the documents that are required. And it is as swift as that. South Korea is very straightforward. You come and apply yourself, not one that you're having to go to VSF center and then going through all that process that Japan made me go through. But anyways, now I know that whenever I'm going to Japan, I'll have to go with somebody. If not, whatever experience you get, oh well. But that's it, guys. Let me know if you want any other videos like this, self-growth, any video. Like, your girl is a human being, because I'm a jack of all trades. So I have so many interests, so many things I love to talk about, but I tend to, unravel all these things on my TikTok, not necessarily on here, because here is more focused on finance. So I feel like people don't tend to watch those type of videos. But I'm a girl of so many colors. Just let me know if you love to hear about them. While at it, make sure to click that like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye bye.